Well, you know what they say, there are no kingdoms without rulers. Are you ready for change? We could be kings and queens every day. On the low, we are brave, yes, even braver than the bravest. So let's go, start the race. We should be kings and queens every day. You've been trying to find your crown, happy camper through the ups and downs, keeping calm, winning ground. Let's build castles now. Well, you know what they say, there are no kingdoms without rulers. Are you ready for change? We could be kings and queens every day. On the low, we are brave, yes, even braver than the bravest. So let's go, start the race. We should be kings and queens every day. When the crowd is calling our names and the storm is one with our game, we just keep burning the flame. You are one of us. We say come, whatever may, we join forces today.
Klasse! Good! Woohoo! So, there we go. This is our destination for today. One of the most beautiful places. And we all agree about that, don't we? We do all agree about that. Hey everyone! So, hey everyone! We've reached today's destination. It probably is gonna rain soon, so we got into this beautiful place which we all love. As you can see, Rehsi loves this place too. We spent a lot of time here lately, and I just thought that I would really like to make a new Q&A video. I've asked you on Instagram a little while ago, so yeah, I thought probably today would be the day and I could probably give it a try. I wish it would be possible to really like get the real moment and the reality of things into a video and yeah, share the reality, but it's never possible to share the reality. I mean, it's also a question if there actually is a reality, and probably everything is just always just a part of what is real. So yeah, this is a part of what is real about our life that I would like to share with you. And first of all, you've probably noticed I've got a hair in my mouth. And it's not a dog hair, it's my own. So yeah, if you are following us on Instagram, you already know that my dear goat Wonder passed away a little while ago. And you've probably also noticed in this video that there's only one goat with me this time. It's Rehsi. She's there. And who's missing? It is the boy Peppino. And actually, Peppino did not want to come with us today. He also did not want to come with us yesterday. So So no, he's not dead, but I'm really sure that he is seriously sick again. He's dealing with a hell of a lot of health issues since a couple of years. He's also already kind of old. And I'm really concerned because he never wanted to stay at home when we went on a hike. Even in the times when he could barely walk, he wanted to come with us. And right now he is absolutely fine with walking. I can't see any issue with that. But still, he doesn't want to come with us. And that's a bit concerning for me, and I'm not sure about it. But yeah, we will find that out, and probably it's gonna be time to say goodbye to him soon as well, which is really intense because, yeah, things like this are always really intense, and we just, yeah, had to say goodbye to Wonder, so yeah, let's see how it goes. Oh, I'm talking too much. Yeah, so yeah, it's really interesting over here, a lot going on, much more than I could ever share, and actually I'm beginning to love that. I've had a long time where I felt like it's so complicated, I want to be authentic and I want to share so much, but it's just impossible to really be authentic, and everything is, there's so much going on and everything, and now I'm beginning to really love the fact that I can't share everything, so I'm learning to become really conscious about what I share and how I share things, and yeah, I really want to bring Wolia into the world, and I think one thing that is really, really, really important for this world is authenticity. So I don't want to be fake and just share the beautiful things or anything like that. That's really, really needed in our world, but that's not the only thing that's needed. What is needed even more are healthy people. So I'm really trying my best not to be oversharing and not to waste your time, and also not to destroy my own privacy, which is something that's really easy to do in modern times. And yeah, I'm playing around with that. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, that's just as a little glimpse into what's going on over here, but there's so much more. And one thing there is that I've asked you for questions on Instagram a little while ago, and I have them on my phone over here, and I'm gonna read into them again, and I'm gonna answer some of them. So yeah, the vast majority of those questions were really interesting. I'm so glad about that, because I used to get only questions I would consider to be a bit boring, like how old are you and are you single? This is not why I'm having these channels. I mean, as I said, I really am a fan of authenticity, and I'm not like having a problem to talk about different topics, but it's a bit disappointing if I'm like looking for questions about the topics that like specifically make my online work and then I'm just receiving questions about myself. That's actually not what I'm looking for, but this time I got some really interesting ones, so yeah, I'm looking forward to answer them. And I have to decide which one I'm going to pick first. One thing that I think is super interesting is the question of how I'm dealing with having a family with a farming tradition, kind of. This was the question. And yeah, this is such a beautiful topic, because I would like to talk 3 hours about that, because it's about so much more than this. Actually, my family is not having a huge or specific farming tradition. That's not the case. I mean, my the wind is gonna go to destroy the sound right now. Beautiful. My grandpa, my grandfather, yeah, he was like a lot into the farming thing. He was also like slaughtering animals, working with horses, everything. He was just like a real farmer in many ways. But then he worked mostly as a tropical farmer later in his life. But yeah, there I definitely have several parts of my family which lived with a lot of farming, but I guess that's normal because back in times nearly everybody was some sort of farmer, because most people were working for their food like directly. And yeah, but I don't have like a big tradition of farming in my family. Also, my parents are not farmers. They do only have a little hobby farm kind of. And I got raised with a lot of animals, especially chickens and goats, that were also used for eggs and for meat. But that was not something they earned money with. That was just like a hobby thing, and just for, yeah, family and friends, the products. Oh, what's going on, my dear? It's okay, my chats. Rehsi and Suse are having some communication issues. They really have to connect in a new way now that Wonder is not here anymore, because Wonder was always keeping the dogs on a safe distance, and Rehsi is having, yeah, she really needs and wants this distance still, but also in some way they're coming along really well with each other. It's kind of cute when they're going to climb together, and yeah, but still she really demands a lot of respect, and yeah, it's really interesting. And I have to change the camera, yeah, so that you can see Rehsi. That's so much more beautiful when she's in the scene. So yeah, what I wanted to say is that I don't have a big farming tradition in my family, but there was active farming, and I was raised with like a really interesting combination of having animals as part of my family, having like goat babies being raised by hand and sleeping in our house and everything, like having them super close, having the opportunity to connect with them, but also being really close to learning that they are getting used in ways that are really harmful to them. And for me, this question is about so much more than just about the family. It is about, in general, other people and systems that are different from your core values. Yeah, core values. To deal with that, having these intense differences and dealing with this intense level of polarity, and that is something I'm really grateful for now at this point of time. I can say that back in times there were many situations where there was trauma caused for me, emotional trauma, especially as a child, but also later in life, where this experience that other people are seeing us as an opportunity to kill my friends and family members and demand respect from me for that. Like, that is something big, and that is something difficult to learn, and that can cause a lot of emotional pain, to be on this level of understanding, to be forced to get into this level of understanding, and to learn to trust someone who's hurting someone you love is something that is really difficult to do in a healthy way. And I'm not saying that I'm able to do that in a healthy way by now, but I can say that I can see healing, and that I can see the intense positive results from that. And one of them is that I was put in a situation where I had to learn to deal with polarity in an intense way, and that's really good because we are living in a universe where it's based on polarities. There is just no one reality. There is just not one answer to difficult questions, and we just really, like, where most of our struggles are coming from is that we're trying to avoid one part of something. Like we always say in German, where there is light, there is shadow. Wo Licht ist, ist auch Schatten. And that's so true. And at the same time, it is that where there I mean, there's no place on this world that is just shadow. Nothing is just dark, nothing is just bad. Everything has a polarity, everything has different aspects, and problems exist, especially then when we try to avoid one aspect of something. If we try to just see someone as bad because they are doing one thing, but no human being is just bad. And it's also happening when we try to just see love and light, and we're just avoiding everything else around that. If we're just looking for way too simple answers for way too complex questions. And that is kind of what I had to learn in this setting, where I had to learn to accept that it is also okay to see something so elementarily different than I do see it. And that is really, really painful and really, really powerful. And I see that helping me a lot on my journey right now, because I can see that it's kind of funny for me sometimes that I now have the opportunity to accept so much more about people than I would dare to say the majority of people is able to take. And I don't take things easily personal, even though I'm highly sensitive and it's not difficult to hurt me. That's not the point. But I don't take things personal because I've kind of learned to accept the reality of someone else as the reality of this other person, and to accept it as a part of reality but still different from me. Kind of, it's hard to explain, because it's also a polarity in itself to accept something as part of the reality you are living in, and with that part of yourself, without seeing it as a part of yourself. It can be at the same time like different from you and the same. Yeah, I love you too. But I'm getting kind of consciously, I'm deciding to get into this process. I'm deciding to find friends that are hunters. I'm deciding to find friends that are farmers. I'm deciding to do all that because I want to learn more about the different perspectives, and I want to learn more about people who are seeing the world different from me, because I'm just so sure about the fact that there is not just one reality, and if I'm trying to explain the world just from one perspective, which is mine, I'm not going to be able to understand what's actually going on. So yeah, I'm really embracing this challenge, but it is a challenge. I hope I could kind of answer your question, and yeah. Let's see another one. Oh, it's still recording. So, one is, when did I start rescuing animals? I've already answered that, but I will say it again. I don't have a time or day that it started. It's kind of part of my life since I can remember. I know the first stories of me rescuing or trying to rescue animals when I was kind of like around 4 or something like that. And I just continued doing that forever. I bought my first cow when I was on my 15th birthday. This is always something I can say, but I've already had a bunch of other animals before, and a hell of a lot of other animals that I've rescued. But yeah, I bought the first cow when I was 15, which is now 9.5 years ago. Then still one of the most asked questions is if I'm open for visitors or helpers, and like kind of woofing or anything like that. And no. It's really a difficult question for me to answer, because in some way I really see in my future that I will definitely have to change the systems I'm working in. I definitely have to get help, like really, I really need that. But now it's windy again. Woo! But yeah, what I've learned so far is that when it comes to physical health, it is intensely important that it is matching, like just on a human level. It really has to like match, and I'm really not someone who is going easy with having like many different people coming and going. This is just really not something that comes easy to me. It's emotionally like draining me so much that it is often easier for me to do things alone, or just accept that they're just not going how I would like them to go, like and that's kind of where we are at right now. I've tried a lot of different things to get like people to come here to help, but it doesn't really work for me. And also, one of the most important parts is that I really don't have a good space for people to stay. I have a really small little flat, and I'm like, I really need my personal space, and it's just exhausting for me to have people around. And we are living on the farm where we are living with around 10 people, and it's not a lot of space for so many people and so many animals, and it's really like not a lot of space, even though it might look like that, but for me it's like not a lot of space. And yeah, it's difficult to bring completely strangers into that, and I just don't feel capable of doing that right now. But I'm planning to find a different place. If you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, you probably know that. I've also said that on YouTube, but it's really like, for me it's really clear that this has to happen in the near future, not like tomorrow but soon. We will have to find a new space, and my goal for a new place would be that there is space for people to stay, and I could imagine many different ways of how this could work, but it's not here yet. And if it's ever gonna happen, I will definitely let you know if I'm open for like visitors in whatever way, but it's not here yet. And yeah, that's the long answer to a simple no. Yeah, and there are always also questions about how I'm affording the lives of my animals and also my life, but this time actually this was only asked once, and it was asked how my family does afford that. And yeah, for my family I can say they are just going to usual jobs and they're earning money, and then they're having animals that they think are funny to have, and then they're like getting their products from that or not, and that's how they're doing it. It's nothing special. And in my case it actually also is nothing super special, but probably a little bit more interesting, because I'm not going to a normal job. My main income right now is Patreon, where I have monthly supporters. Some of you are there, and you're all welcome to sign up there. But I also actually having a big part of my income through like unexpected financial gifts through PayPal or through our Amazon wishlist, and this is actually mainly what I do. I also have like I do little jobs, by the way, like we always have children activities in the summer which I'm working with and stuff like that, but it's not my main income. And my main income is coming from you, everyone who's supporting us, and that's my main income, and that's how I keep us alive, and that's also how I'm planning to make a lot more happen. So yeah, currently we are at a place where it is enough to keep us alive, but it's not enough to really start building the life I'm planning to build. But I see that coming soon, and it's definitely ahead for us. And of course you can help to make that real quicker. And that you can of course do that with direct support and financial way, but you do also do that with everything you do to help me to reach more people. Just sharing my videos, writing comments, liking, just interacting in general, also watching the videos through. So I don't know where the video stopped. Just stop recording. So yeah, another question was regarding social media and how I feel about living kind of from social media and finding my way on this journey and what I think I'm headed towards. And I think this is so interesting because there's so many people nowadays who are trying to make a living with social media, and this kind of way of living just came so quickly, and it is so unknown for us as humans in general. Just this role of being an influencer and everything, this is such a new thing, and it's so difficult to figure out how to do it. It looks super easy on the first look. I remember when I was just, before I started, I was like, yeah, if I just figure out how to make videos, that would be so easy. I could make like money with everything I do, because yeah, that's in some way true, but at the same time it's so much more complex than this. And as I said in the beginning, I talked for a second about privacy, and I just begin to realize how important it actually is, because if you are truly like successful with a social media company or whatever, you are risking a hell of a lot. It's really like, oh, probably they're gonna have a little fight now. No, not right now. If it's getting super loud, they're just like having their communication process working further. They're so cute. But yeah, this is so interesting because there are so many things that you're risking with stepping into this social media world that are not that obvious. But if you're getting into it, there's so much. Of course, there are so many emotional topics that you have to think about. There's so much. It's just like so many different things when you're truly opening yourself up to the world. And the better it works, the harder it gets. And at first you easily feel like, oh, I just have to figure it out, and if it's gonna roll, it's gonna roll, because that is how it looks from the outside. Like, people are getting like through this magical mark, and the algorithm starts to work with them, and now everything flows, and it's so amazing what's possible. And that's totally true, but it's just one part of the coin, because with the success there also comes like a hell of a lot of danger. And yeah, I'm trying to kind of figure out as much knowledge as I can about that. It's so beautiful to watch them. To find out as much knowledge as I can about that, and to really learn how to appreciate where I am right now and not to stress about getting somewhere else, even though I definitely am planning on like getting a much bigger reach of people, and I'm getting ready to really embrace that. But it's not here yet, and I'm also beginning to really embrace the beauty of that, the feeling of, wow, I'm just able to sit here and create a chaotic Q&A and feel kind of safe with that, and don't feel like it has to be perfect, and that's so beautiful. And at the same time, to really prepare for the change, and also already think right now about like, is it okay if I make this video and one day there will be thousands of people seeing that? And to think about that with every single video and try to get really in alignment with who I am and figure out how I really want to show myself to the world, because it is impossible to really show like the whole reality, to be completely authentic. That's impossible. It's just simply impossible. So we have to find which kind of a role we want to play in the social media world. A role that's not just fake, authentic, but still respecting our personal and private space. And that is a really interesting journey. And I'm really excited where it's gonna be heading to. Right now I'm really into like just accepting where I'm at and playing around with how things might turn out. And yeah, we'll see. So I kind of take you just along the ride, and I really hope that we will be able to create a community that's gonna bring value to the world, and I'm gonna try my best to do that. And yeah, I just invite you to do the same in your way, no matter how you do it. If you share your own stuff, or if you support me or someone else, just really like, I hope that we can create this social media world into something that is beneficial for us as a society and everything, and not as something that's just like giving a bigger platform for hate and negativity, or just being a platform for distraction and yeah, bullshit. Another question I've received is about what to do about about feeling lost in the world. People tend to think that I'm really not lost, which is not true. I'm also really lost, but probably in a different way than most people. But yeah, doesn't matter. I kind of have only one advice. If you feel lost, it's not about fitting in, it's about it's much more about being who you really are. It's not about changing yourself, it's not about changing where you're at, it's more about being. Much more about being. And this is really important to know, I think, because out of being, doing that comes out of being, like inspired action from a place of wholeness, is just so much more impactful than trying to change things in order to be different or to feel different. I think this is gonna get confusing, but yeah, it's so difficult. I would love to talk about all these things 3 hours in a row, but it would be really boring to do that alone, so I would need someone to sit here with me. But yeah, if you feel lost in the world, don't try to find a place to fit in. Be the place you fit in. Like, become really a place to fit in for yourself. Is this logical? I don't know, but this is what I think. Let's ask Rehsi. Rehsi, what to do if you feel lost in the world? What would you do? Make yourself comfortable, enjoying where you are at. And this is what I'm trying to do too. As I said, I'm really sure that we will have to move from here in the near future, and that I want to move from here in the near future. And I'm really befriending myself with this art, and I'm really making this possible behind the scenes. There's so much going on behind the scenes, that I'm looking for farms in Sweden since more than a year, and I can just feel it getting closer so intensely. And it still might take a year or two, probably, but it could also take only like 4 more weeks. And this is really interesting. And yeah, I'm really befriending myself with the thought that we might find a new place soon, and I might have to leave all this beauty at this place. I mean, I love this whole place. This is it's kind of like Iceland. Iceland. Is it Iceland? Insel? I don't know, but we're just living like, our farm is like directly in front of a forest, and I love our little living spot, and I love the forest behind us. It's way too small for me, but it's so beautiful. Like, with places like this, it's so beautiful, and I love it so much. And I've just learned so much more about how much I love this place in the last years, and I've learned to really feel that, and I love this place and I love the people. I love to live here. But I just always say, like, this is the perfect place for me to grow. I've learned so much. All the pain I've suffered here, it's just such a beautiful lesson, and it's perfect for me, and it is setting me up for the best life I could ever live, and it is like teaching me exactly for the purpose I see for me in this life. It's wonderful. But it's just not gonna be the place for me to bloom. It's not possible. It's just not possible. So if I want to bloom, if I really want to be who I am, if I really want to show what I have to show, kind of, if I really want to share what I have to share, if I really want to, offer the world the whole beauty of who I am, I will have to find a different place, because there is not enough space for me, and there are a lot of conditions who are preventing me from blossoming. So this is kind of what we all have to do to really find out who we are and what we need, and then create the circumstances, but not out of a feeling of like stress or out of a feeling like running away from something, but out of a true feeling of creation and beauty and strength and creativity and inspiration and all these things. And that's the most important. This is why it is so important to don't start with doing, but with being, and really like embracing where you are and who you are, and making yourself comfortable. Another question is what I think are the main needs of the main things that it takes to have a healthy relationship to animals. And the first thing I have to say is that I can't really answer this question because I don't have a healthy relationship to any animal. That is because a healthy relationship, in my view, is not possible right now in my life. I don't know if it will ever be possible because, we are coming from such a toxic and wounded situation that it's not going to be easy to change that. And in my view, it is not possible to have a healthy relationship with someone that you have to constantly suppress. Someone who is constantly in need of you for the meeting of their basic needs. So just the fact that I have to make sure that my dog is not gonna hunt anyone, and that means that she totally relies on me to give her food, is making it impossible for her to fully grow up. That means she's forced to constantly stay in kind of the situation of a childlike being, which is super cute, which is something that we really love about dogs, that they are always so childlike and cute and always do whatever we want, which is not the base of a healthy relationship of two grown up, strong, powerful and wild beings. So this is just one example, and in my view it's not possible to have a healthy relationship with animals. And I wouldn't say not possible, but really unlikely to have a healthy relationship with animals. But what I see and what I do and what I have with all my animals, or at least try to have, are healing relationships. And this is also what I see in humans. So it isn't easy to have like healthy relationships, but we should all try to have healing relationships that are bringing much more healing than new trauma into our lives. And this is also what I'm doing with my animals. And if I should say like some core aspects for that, probably the two most important things for me personally would be taking full responsibility for yourself, not for the animal, and letting go of control. I also received so many beautiful, not questions, but just people saying like they would feel really inspired, or that they would like me to talk about anything. They're just interested in everything. This is so beautiful to read, so that, thank you for that. But I also wanted to say, like, I do also appreciate negative feedback, just to say it for once. Like, I sometimes feel like I would like to have more negative feedback, because that would make me feel like I'm much more effective, because I know that I'm talking about some really difficult things, and I know that as long as people are not like bashing me for it, I'm not reaching enough people. Or I'm not being clear enough about what I think. And so yeah, you don't have to be shy if you want to say something negative. Of course I really appreciate like constructive criticism. I definitely appreciate that, and I'm also really curious about unconstructive criticism, because that would help me to learn more about emotional disagreements of people in these kind of topics, and I'm really curious about that. So yeah, I also really appreciate like kindness and yeah, but I don't like fake kindness. So I'm really curious about where this is all gonna be heading to. It's really interesting, because at the same time I would love to create like peace, and I don't like hate. I don't enjoy that, but I've just learned that real peace can only come if you embrace disagreements, even on intense levels, even like everywhere, and in really, really uncomfortable ways. You can't create peace if disagreements are not like openly possible, because that is like where the peace has to be created. And I'm really curious about even how I'm gonna be able to manage that to do. Yeah. Life is so beautiful and so ugly. Oh Lord. I love to be alive. I hope you love it too. And if you don't, know that that can't be the whole truth. You couldn't be alive if you would not love it, because life needs love in order to be possible. So as long as you are alive, which is forever, because even if we die, I believe that nothing is getting wasted. So all these little cells in our bodies are gonna stay alive, just in a different way. We're just changing our form, and everything is gonna continue to move, and every little cell, everything we are just is loving being alive, and is gonna stay alive forever and transform and change forever, because that is life. And if you feel like you don't love this game, that's not true. You just have to begin to feel the love that is vibrating in your whole body. And it's really helping to sit in the forest on a regular basis. I can really recommend that. Especially if you take a goat and a dog with me, or a bunch of cows, or some geese. This is really helpful. Also, did you watch our new geese video? I would be so curious about your feedback. Please write a comment. This is also helping so much to reach more people, and I'm so curious about it, really. I would so very appreciate that. It helps a lot, and I'm really curious about what's gonna happen there soon too. The geese are amazing. I'm looking forward to share more about them with you. And if you have any more questions, just write them down. I'm not sure when I make a new Q&A video, but it's fun to me. Even though I have to kind of get into the flow, and also making videos is always like so much more work than you think, just the editing and everything, but I love it. And you're really welcome to just like write your questions or whatever. It makes me feel so much more like I'm interacting with real people if you're writing comments and asking questions and everything. This is helping me a lot in order to find my way, even though I'm not gonna be someone who's gonna ask like, what should I do? What would you like to see? I'm not gonna try to perform for you. This is something I really want to avoid. I want to really be in alignment with me, and I want to have the people around me and watching me who are in alignment with that, or who are getting triggered in a way that it might be helpful for them to, yeah, get triggered in that way. But I don't want to perform for you. This is something that I've learned from social media and from other people who are really successful with this game, who have lost themselves in it, and performance for others and slipping into roles that you are really not is not something I'm looking forward to do. But I'm really interested in your inspirational thoughts and everything. You're so welcome. I received some amazing book tips from you guys. Amazing. One of my favorite books, I received that tip from one of you. I don't remember the name. So if you have been the one, please know how thankful I am. The book Beyond Words from Carl Sarafina or something like that. It's so wonderful. I can really recommend that to everyone who is just like open to love animals on a new level. I just love it. Beyond Words. I still am reading it, and I'm mainly reading it together with the geese. I'm saying geese wrong. Geese. But yeah, I love it so much. And also these kinds of comments, I really appreciate that. And I love this kind of community where we can really share things that help us grow. And you're welcome to do that anytime. And yeah. Now we are probably gonna hang out at this beautiful place for a little while. Probably we will wait for the rain, or we will leave earlier. I'm not sure about that right now. And then I'm gonna get home and edit this video for you. Yeah, I love you guys. Take care. We will see each other soon. Bye bye.
Soul is lonely, sad and blue. Got love and shoulders to lean on. There's always a sunny side across the river. Take a ride, take a swim, and all your worries go away. Go cross the river and you'll be fine. Go counting winners, it's right down the line. You'll be alright on the sunny side. Lost in the city lights, ain't got nowhere to turn your winding wheel. There's always the sunny side across the river. Take a ride, swim my friend, and paddle your guitar. Across the river, you'll be fine. Go counting winners, right down the line. You'll be alright on the sunny side.
Good.